starting at around 98% charge, and we're on the BAC 4000 by ASI. Probably E-Moto Bros kit. We're gonna see what kind of range we can get today. Plan to try and get to the top of that mountain over there, and maybe one near it. We'll just see where we get. I've never ridden here before, so it's an adventure for everyone. And we'll see where we go. Like I mentioned, this is in Central Oregon, but it is in a gated community, so be pretty hard for anybody to get to. You may know where it is, but I'm not going to say the name just because I don't want people showing up trying to ride here or anything like that, especially when it's gated. We're just going to cruise on over to the trail area, and we'll be on our way. I'm running at, I have it set to 7,000 watts peak right now, and I may have it turned down for a little, so we can expect a little bit less range than might be possible if we were running less power. And also, it's pretty dang cold out today, a little bit above freezing temperature, so that's going to greatly decrease the battery life, but hope we can get about 15 miles out of it or so. There. Just have to find the right way. So there's one of the trails right here. So I'll just stop here real quick, strap up, see the view. Oh, here we go. This is where the trails are at. Running 4K Super View, so hope it looks good. And also hope you guys can hear me because we don't have a windsock on it. Oh, gnarly. This is sick. Super deep. Oh man. I feel like I'm gonna get lost back here. I don't know what's up this way. Kind of like this double track more for riding the SurRon. A little more wide open. Oh man, this is so sick. This is super loose too. So if you see me taking the corner, it's easy. It's just so I don't eat it. Oh my gosh, the power is crazy, and I'm not even running full power right now either. Anybody who gets this kit, man, you guys are gonna love it. Oh man, it's like borderline sand now. Oh, feel the back end just surfing. It was good to get back out and ride again. It's been too long. It's pretty rocky here. Alright, so our options here are raw hide, or let me check on the other side of this. Wrangler or Buckaroo. Wow, the names are all super inviting, but I think I'm just gonna stick kind of straight just so it's easier for me to get back. Gone about 4 miles and we're at 74%, so you know, it's a super cold day, but the math adds up to about 20 miles of riding on 7,000 watts of power if you extrapolate that. So that's a pretty good amount of riding for cold weather, more power, all that. Oh, this is gnarly and steep. Hole in the front wheel. Didn't even make it up. Man, this is so sick. Alright, It looks like it goes back down over here. So we'll just keep following her all the way around. Sorry if you can hear that snapping noise. It's my helmet strap blowing in the wind. I have it snapped down. I don't know, maybe it came undone or something. Man, this is super cool. It's not all tracked out or anything. It's like just trucks maybe have been riding on it, but you can see mountain bike tracks. Once I get to about 60%, I'm gonna turn around, start to head back. I don't wanna get caught out here. It's super cold and the service is sketchy to say the least. But today is absolutely a perfect day for riding. It just rained a couple days ago, so there's no dust. And if you know anything about Central Oregon, it's usually like super loose, but you can actually get decent traction where you can feel the rain on the ground. The sand's actually kind of damp. I'm gonna open it up here. Geez, quick, man. Okay, so now we're on Rawhide, it looks like. So I wonder now if this is maybe just a big loop. We're going back the way we came here. It's such a bummer, man. I really hope that these SurRons bring back dirt biking, because it's such a fun sport and you can cover so much ground with less effort than with the mountain bike. But the big barrier was, you know, the amount of noise it makes, and people say it's disruptive and they smell bad, but I mean, this thing is just, it's super quiet, it's super light. You could maybe argue that the trail impact is not insignificant, but you're on a double track trail like this where you're not, you know, making huge ruts and things like that. It's perfect for this. And I really hope we see the opening of more dirt bike oriented trails. It's just super unfortunate that it seems like they're closing down quicker than they're opening up. And I hope that this E-Moto thing can change that, because there's something here. There's a lot of untapped potential in the electric market, which is part of the reason we started E-Moto Bros. You know, we recognize that potential, and we see this, you know, as groundbreaking shit. There's the KX110s, what that did for the pit bike movement and all the people who love riding pit bikes now. I think if you get those people on SurRons, they're never looking back. This thing is significantly more fun, more powerful, more well suspensed than any 110 bike you can buy from any of the major 6 manufacturers. And no gas, hardly makes any noise. It's just great. I'm gonna go back here and read what this sign says. Okay, it does say no bikes, but it didn't say that where I went into the trail. So let's pretend like I didn't see that. We'll just go back the other way. Maybe get back on the trails that don't say that. But again, this isn't a gated community. The only people who really ride out here are the guests, and it's winter time. So there aren't a lot of people riding their horses and whatnot, or mountain biking for that matter. You know, I see tire tracks on here though. And I mean, if a car is allowed, I don't see why a mountain bike or E-Moto wouldn't be allowed. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but we'll follow the rules since, you know, I'm not trying to get in trouble with anyone, I'm trying to prolong the amount of places we can ride. This is so loose, and such a cool feeling. It feels like you're surfing. thing pulls the front end like it's nothing there. I'm not even on the highest power level. I'm on 8 right now, so we're running about 6,200 watts out of a possible 7,000. So we're about 12 to 15% under max power right now, and it's, I mean, pulling the wheel in cold weather, no problem. We're about approaching half battery, so I'm impressed. Very impressed. Just wants to wheelie out of every corner. I love that. Love having more power than you need. So I think I'm gonna go back this way. I don't see my tire track on here. I don't know if it's the way I came or not, but looks like my GPS is still working. Okay, so this says no bikes either. Kind of curious if bikes are even allowed back here. But I mean, where I came into this trail wasn't a sign, so. Cruising. Okay, so I came from this way. I see my tire track here. Start heading back this way. It's really nice being able to ride. One of the nice things about Central Oregon is, unless there's snow on the ground in the winter, it's usually decently dry. So you can put up with the cold, you can ride. But in Portland, on the western side of the Cascades, not so easy. So there's so much rain. It takes forever for that clayey soil to dry out. So even if you get a dry streak in the winter of like 5 days, you're still probably gonna be riding in the mud, which I don't particularly enjoy. I don't really want to take an electric bike in the mud, even though it should be all right. It's just a hassle to clean and it wears shit down super quick, getting grit into everything. This is a better route to go. Okay, now I'm kind of curious where this little tractor goes. Yeah, it just loops around. Oh man, it's tight. It's real tight. Yeah, looks like there's just a little loop. Oh man, my hands are sore. I haven't ridden in a couple months because the weather's been so bad. But this is a good time. Back here. This thing gets up to 40 miles an hour, just no problem now. Before you had to be on it a little. The last 15 though, it's still getting up to 55. You need a little bit of room, but it's like, it's really going 55 on trails, you know? Unless it's some wide open desert type stuff. Oh yeah, this is nice too. Sick. Alright, coming back out where we kind of started. Well, let me just follow this down a little ways. I want to get a picture actually, the GoPro. You know, do that right here. It's kind of a pretty deal. Yeah. Mountains in the background and whatnot. Just gonna continue on our way down this trail here. Well, update on distance. We're about 8 miles, close to it, around 7. And we're at 60 volts. So realistically, at 60 volts, it's 50% charge. We're at about 50%. Although the percentage thing on here actually says 60%. So, you know, I think voltage is more important than whatever you map your percent to. Obviously, you just need to understand the limitations of your cells and understand what voltage is a reasonable voltage to be wrapping it up. I'm gonna go down to this double track here. Head back. Really was hoping I could get to the top of one of those mountains, but it kind of seems like that fence line just follows all the way up the hillside, so I don't really see how I would do that. Oh, that's where that cuts in. Okay, I see. So, for the rest of this video, I'm just gonna go for a little cruise around here, and we're gonna talk about what our plans are for the future here. So, we're planning on, you know, getting a lot more kits in. They're, you know, it doesn't seem like it's a huge hassle, but putting the kits together actually does take a little bit of time. Like every single display that comes in, we have to update, and that takes like 5 minutes per one we do. And then every controller that comes in, we have to update and flash a tune to it, and that takes like 5 minutes. And then we have to create the wiring kits, and we have to package it and do shipping information and stuff like that. So it's not just some small ordeal to do the kit. It actually takes probably, I don't know, 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes to assemble one kit from start to finish, which isn't that much. But if you assume that, you know, we put 25 of them up and we sold out in, what did we sell? We sold out in 3 hours, sold out 25 of them in 3 hours. We can't even make kits at that rate. So, you know, we apologize for being out of stock, but we're doing the best we can, and a lot of it is not on us either. I don't want to drag any of our suppliers through the mud, because I know they have supply issues themselves. But, you know, it's just, right now with COVID, it's just not a good time. It's just not a good time to be trying to get things from suppliers that aren't domestic, which is exactly what we're doing. But it's what we have to put up with. We hope the market stabilizes here as the vaccine rolls out. It should be good for everything. And then we hope to be able to get kits out, but just have them in stock, really. It's really important to us, because we hate doing that lead time thing. Constantly playing cat and mouse with the suppliers, trying to figure out when we're gonna get a product. Just such a hassle, man. Nice little peak here, a little bluff. But yeah, I mean, it's such a tiring game, constantly trying to figure out when we're gonna get products, trying to figure out, you know, when we're gonna have time to put everything together, but we'll make it work. So basically, well, we have those plans for the controller kit, and if you're wondering when the next one will be available, the next drop, we're hoping for New Year's Day. So that's pretty exciting. We should have another 27 going out then. And then our next plan is batteries. Getting a battery made for one of these things is no small task, and you'll notice, I mean, for those of you who don't know, there's only one supplier who works out of the US for batteries for these things, and you know, there's a lead time for that, because it sounds like it's a small operation. You can't really pump batteries out super quick. There's just no fast way to make e-bike batteries, really. So we've been in contact with probably 20 to 30 companies, battery manufacturers, trying to find the perfect one. It's really important to us that it's a 60 volt, because we want it to work with the stock controller. Even though, you know, we believe heavily in our controller, we know there's still a market for people who just want more range. and don't necessarily care about the power or tunability, and we want those people to go with our product. And it's also super important to us that it fits in the stock SurRon. We don't want to do anything funky with the lid, extension bolts, tall lids, none of that. I think that ruins the aesthetic of the bike. Not the ones that pop out just a little bit, but I don't like the ones that are standing way out of the top. So we really want it to fit in the stock compartment, and we also want it to have significantly more power for those who do have a controller. So basically what's in the works right now is we have gotten in contact with a battery manufacturer who is sourcing us a 60 volt that has 50% more range, so it's 48 amp hours, and it has like 4 times the peak power. It has like 20 to 24,000 watts of peak power, which is absolutely absurd. Probably more than the BAC 4000 can reliably handle, but that is peak power, not continuous. So it's gonna be a hell of a battery. It'll be super fast. It'll work with the stock controller. Not that you'd see more power with the stock controller, but you will get more range. And it's smaller than the stock battery, which is pretty incredible as well. I'm actually gonna take that road up there. I kind of want to go up to the top. But yeah, it's smaller than the stock battery, so it's actually pretty great, because you can just hot swap the 2 batteries directly and they fit into the cases. Right now we're working on trying to find a way to make the battery more secure. I know people do polycarbonate cases, stainless steel cases, all sorts of things, but that's quite the manufacturing feat, I must say. Like, I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with trying to source things from China and get things made, but it is such a hassle dealing with the time delay. You basically get to email them like once every 36 hours because of the weird time zones, or once every 24 hours. And that just makes it hard to do anything quickly. But we're getting there. We've ordered the battery. It's on the way to us. It's been completed. It's good for about 200 amps continuously, 180 to 200 amps continuously. So that's like 12,000 watts continuously, which is a pretty crazy amount of power. And I think most people will be more than satisfied with that. And we hope to get that in the next like 2-3 weeks, maybe 4. I don't know, it depends on shipping. But we're gonna get that. We'll obviously test it, make a video about it, and then we haven't really decided if we wanna. So the hard part is, you know, you have to do bulk pricing to get, or you have to do a bulk order to get bulk pricing, obviously. And the problem with bulk orders for something like a battery is you need a ton of capital, and like even for just 10 batteries we're talking like tens of thousands. So it's definitely not cheap at all to do those bulk orders. So where we're at is we're having the dilemma of trying to determine if we want to do a pre-order for those, because we hate doing pre-orders because we don't like trying to play telephone tag with our customers and then our shippers and trying to figure out when we're going to actually get our product. But at the same time, we're not really trying to drop a ton of money to have them in stock. So maybe the first couple orders will be pre-orders with about a 5-week lead time, shipped anywhere in the US. And I think we're gonna bring it to market at about $1,800, which, you know, I think that's a pretty reasonable price considering it's about 5 times the stock peak power and 50% more range, and it's only $200 more dollars than the stock battery. So you're getting a pretty good deal there out of it. But again, we'll have to see. I know we have competitors at that price range, but you know, you get the brand with it. You get the fact that we make videos about our products, so you know exactly what you're getting. We feel like we're extremely transparent about everything going on in our company and the lead times and, you know, just when we plan to have things done. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that price is easily justifiable. And it'll also come with a charger at that price, so you can charge your stock battery and your aftermarket battery at the same time. And I know there's also some guys who sell dongles that you may need as an adapter, because the charging port on the stock SurRon is like that round charger. The name, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but the one that we're getting on our battery is an XT60 connector, which is not the one that's on the SurRon. So if you want to use your SurRon charger, you'll need to buy an adapter, but they're like 25 bucks, so it's pretty cheap to get one of those. But we think there's a lot of value in having a second charger so that you can charge both your batteries at the same time. So that's our plan for that. So it's covered controllers, batteries. We're looking into doing sprockets, but the geometry of the sprocket is a really complex thing. It's not just something you can easily throw together in any CAD program in a small amount of time. So we're working on that, but you know, everything takes time, and finding suppliers who can build sprockets for us is not easy either, especially at a price point where we could sell it to you guys and make money ourselves, you know, and make more than $5 on each sprocket, because at that point it's not even really worth the gas driving it to the store to ship it. So we're working on that. I'm sure we'll figure something out. But yeah, we're getting to about the end of the ride here. Gone 10 miles and we're above 50% battery, which is kind of crazy considering this weather, and also considering that we're riding in sand, or we were, and also that you know, we were running more power than stock, so it should be drawing more power. But I'm pretty impressed. I don't want to ride too long today just because I'm pretty tired, and it's been a while since I've ridden, so my stamina's not quite there. But I think this was a pretty good showcase of the power that this thing has. I think it showcased, has pretty good range. The range is virtually unchanged. Yeah. You guys appreciate ride content like this. I know a lot of people would just like to watch ride videos. It might be relaxing or something. And a lot of our videos are more like tutorials and scientific testing of things. But we're trying to get more of these ride videos. It's just the climate we live in doesn't allow for it. So this will be a long one. I hope you guys appreciate it. If you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. It helps us out a lot. Liking the video and commenting on it helps the algorithm, helps us get more views, grow the channel, release more videos for you guys to enjoy, and overall it's a good thing for everybody. So we really appreciate the support, and thanks for watching.